Alright, I got all the old paint off, and I've come in and 80 gritted it down just to get everything I'd missed with the grinder wheels and paint stripper wheels and wire wheel, and to get it all nice and 80 grit. So from here I need to wash the car down real good to get rid of all this dust that's on here, then wipe down all the bare metal, tape everything off, and shoot a coat of primer on there for my guide coat. And since the primer I'm using is a rust inhibitor, it'll help seal that metal up. But being primer, it's still porous, so I'll need to come in and bring it in the shop, which isn't quite ready for that. So that's the next thing, make sure I got room. That's things to think about when you're working on these projects, especially a larger project, is what's the next step? What's the step after the next step? So I know once I get it primed, I got to come in, so I need to make sure this area is clean and ready to receive the car before I do that. Alright, I got all the sanding done, got it down to bare metal, got it washed with, I use dish soap to get all the sander dust and everything off of it, clean the metal up real good. And it also cleans the surfaces so that the tape will stick. I went back in every surface that I wanted the tape to stick to. I did a little bit of paint thinner in there to get that clean. So got it rolled inside because it looks like it's going to rain outside, and it's bare metal. Even though I put primer on it, it is a layer of protection, but primer is going to be porous, especially the first week or two that you spray it on. So I don't want rust pits to start forming underneath the primer that I don't know about, and just to have it sitting outside, and then that'll come up in a few years. It's kind of probably what they did here. So any surface that's not taped off is going to get overspray on it. That's just a good bet. So I still have the windshield to tape off. I can get back far enough. Got a bunch of stuff behind me here, as y'all probably know if you've seen anything of the shop I'm in. Garage, carport. So I just need to tape off the rest of the glass. The whole car is going to need to be painted anyway, so I'm not too worried about it, but I don't want to do anything, any of the glass and any of this rubber trim underneath there. It'll have to be dealt with eventually, but I don't want primer and paint all over it. Just as extra steps to try to get those fixed. Alright, well, I'm going to take a break and then I'll be back at it. Alright, I got it all taped off. So I didn't quite do this part right. You probably can't see it in the video, but I come down and started at the top and work my way down instead of coming from the bottom and working my way up. So what that does, it creates a little, probably see it here, the paper gap right there. It can allow dust and everything to get in there and get behind it, or maybe even some overspray. Hope not. What I should have done is what I did on the side over here and on the windshield is start from the bottom and work up, and then I get an overlay, kind of a layering, like a Laylamar setup on here. So that's how I did the windshield. So that's a more logical way. I might have a greasy thumbprint on my camera lens again. You don't know how that happens. So if anyone's wondering about how I tape this up, you should see how I do Christmas presents. Alright, I just got done priming the car. I have my mask on in the video here, so that's why I'm doing a dub over, because you wouldn't be able to hear me. But I'm looking at all the spots, all the little hail damage spots and everything on there while the primer's wet, and just recording it and trying to document where those are. And I can always come back and watch a video and make sure I catch them all. So you see in the background where all my tools are, I actually put a tarp up, because even with the high volume, low pressure gun, the overspray still kind of gets everywhere. So that's why I did that. You see I kind of got my garage door open a little bit so I can get some good air flowing through here, and a fan in the window to try to suck out any of the fumes. Alright, I got the kitty hair on, and I've blocked it all down and come back and primed over the top of that, and I'm letting that cure out. I just did a quarter of this right here, this section, So really not much to see with the camera. It's just a big old sea of gray, and it's not liking it. But anyways, I rolled the primer on so that just get a good coat on there. I'm going to come back with my bigger block right here, and I'll just block the whole area, because I actually had right about here and here and right in here I had some dings, some hail damage that I fixed. So I blocked them all individually whenever I was going over that kitty hair with my 60 grit. So now I'm just going to come back, and once it cures up real good, block it with my 180, and probably block all this primer off. Anyone who does body work kind of knows you put the stuff on, then you sand it all off, and put the stuff on and sand it all off till it comes out right. So still have some lows in here. I think you can see where the kitty hair is, those light spots. And then I have an area I had to kind of feel. That's actually, I sanded them to where they were just a hair low. That way I can come back and do a lightweight body filler over the top of it, and just do this whole panel all nice and sweet.